Hi, I'm Master Fern, 7th degree black belts. Myself and Mr. Smith, 2nd degree black belts, are the head instructors of Golden Fern Taekwondo and Ninja Skills. So we are going to do a series on the set sparring, starting with 3-step sparring. So with 3-step sparring, there's 3 things you need to think about. One is distance, one is timing, one is focus. This is performed with a partner, and there's 10 of these all together. One person will attack, one person will defend, and then the roles reverse. Okay, so we're going to start off with number 1. So I will do the attacking first. A few things we need to think about before we attack, and one is getting your distance right. So remember, distance, time and focus are the 3 things we're aiming for in 3-step sparring. So getting my distance right, I need to step my right leg forward and do a walking stance towards Mr. Smith here. So my right fist goes towards his solar plexus. This is my walking stance. And then from there, I take my right leg back and do a low section block. From there, this is my ready position. Mr. Smith's ready position is Chun B. From there, I do a key up. So when I key up, it means I'm ready to go, and I don't punch until Mr. Smith key ups. Here, here, here. And then from there, the roles reverse. Mr. Smith will take his right leg back into his ready position, and I do exactly what he just did. Here, here. Please note, when we do this, there's all in walking stance on number 1. The middle section block using the inner forearm is the block that we use, and then the counter attack is a reverse punch in walking stance. Okay, now moving on to number 2. The attack will always remain the same. The right leg back, low section block, followed by 3 punches. The defense is the thing that changes. So this time on number 2, I get ready to attack. I don't need to measure up because I've already measured up before. From there, Mr. Smith will take his left leg back this time and make an L stance doing a middle section block still. Here, here. Here. And please note, when he steps to the side there, he makes an L stance and a knife hand strike towards the neck. Here, here. Here. So moving on to number 3 now. Number 3, again, changes like you'll do. So you take your left leg back, but now the block changes to an inward block. So Mr. Smith is going to take his left leg back. He's going to show you how to perform the inward block from here. So from there, he's going to do without a punch. From there, moving your left leg back, inward block. So notice how the block doesn't cross over. It actually comes in and knocks the punch away. Okay, so now we're going to perform number 3. Here, here. Here. And the counter attack is a front back fist strike to the bridge of the nose. Here, here, here. Right. On to number 4 now. Number 4 is very similar to the number 2, whereas then you take your left leg back into an L stance, you perform the same block, just the counter attack that's different. Okay, so from there, here, here. Notice now, instead of stepping around and doing a knife hand strike to the neck, he then moves his left foot round into a sitting stance. He measures towards the floating ribs and performs a double punch from there. Here. 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 Okay, so on to number 5. We go back to taking our right leg back this time into an L stance, and now we're doing an outer forearm block. So the number 1, 2 and 4, we're using our inner forearm, our thumb side. This time we're using the outer forearm block, our little finger side there. Okay, so this is number 5. Here, here. Here. So notice on the 3rd one, instead of stepping back, you move the foot across into a sitting stance, and at the same time you block and punch. Again, we're working on our timing, so remember distance, timing and focus. So this is a perfect example of that. Here, here. Here. So the punch goes to the point of the chin there, and the outer forearm block knocks the forearm out of the way. Right, moving on to number 6 now. Again, similar to the one we've just done, but we use our knife hand this time. So instead of using outer forearm, we're using our knife hand block. And it's the same thing on the 3rd one. We step round into the sitting stance. This time performing a knife hand on the punches coming towards you, and the inward strike on the neck at the same time. Here. Yeah. Here. 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 on to the last 4 now. So numbers 7, 8, 9 and 10 now involve kicks for the counter attacks. Okay, so try and think of it in this order: front kick, side kick, turning kick and reverse side kick. So the first one, front kick, we're going back to the outer forearm lock again. So on the counter attack this time, we actually slide out the way. So rather than stepping back, we slide out the way, giving ourselves plenty of room so we can perform our kick followed by the hand combination. So this is number 7. Here, here. 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 Okay, on to number 8 now. So now we're going to take our right leg back again. We're using our knife hand block again, as we did in number 6, but this time we perform the side kick followed by a knife hand strike to the neck. Here. 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 Okay, moving on to number 9 now. So now we're going to use our palm for our block this time. So on number 3, remember we did the inward block. So this time we're using our palm as an inward block now. And now we move the other way rather than the right hand side, which we'll show you in a second. We're going to do a turning kick. We're still doing the knife hand strike to the neck. Okay, so this is number 9. Here, here. Here. And notice how Mr. Smith steps to this side rather than the other side like we did before in the previous ones. Here. 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 Okay, so moving on to number 10 now. This is the last one, and this is a reverse side kick. So it's the same as number 8. It's all the same all the way up to the slide out the way. You do a spin side kick, and the new technique we're using now is the reverse knife hand to the filtrum, which is just below the nose there. That's the part we're aiming for. Okay, so this is number 10. Here. 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 Here.